Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up this morning. All right, so I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope you got everything you wanted. I'm still waiting on getting a new coach myself, but we'll see if that comes after the new year. Let me take care of some business here before we get into it. Stuart Morrison, I got your coins and I got your shot glass packaged up, but I need to know if you want me to send that to your foundation address or if you want me to send that to a different address. And everybody who did the GoFundMe to help raise money for Justin to go to his first game, thank God at least it was a winning game against the Rams. I've got all your shot glasses and stuff packed up and ready to go. So it'll come in a little white box like that, and we'll get that to the post office today. Now, I got to give a special shout out to Zoe. Zoe, I apologize because I cannot pronounce your whole name, but you did sign off on it as Zoe. Zoe said, save the postage on sending it to him and use that to help Justin out, which is an incredible gesture because Zoe is in the UK. And so sending something to the UK is not cheap at all, but it's a wonderful gesture by him to say, hey, I appreciate it, but I want to help him out some more. And it goes to show you how generous Cowboy fans are and that we really are a community that is worldwide and we deserve better than what we're getting. So, Stuart, please get back to me on that one. I sent you an email on it and I tried the number for your foundation and left a voice message. So, all the Dak haters out there and things, Dak Prescott's shoulder is maybe worse than what the Cowboys let on. For him to be on the injured list 2 days, and then of course everybody said, well, he wasn't on it on Friday. True, he wasn't on it on Friday, but you could see that he was not throwing with the same velocity that he was all season long. And for the Cowboys, I believe he was shot up before game, and I believe he was shot up at halftime. So that way he could throw. But you could see that he could not let it rip the way he normally does. Some of the passes were behind, some of them were high. And I think you got to look at it and say he was not 100%. As I've been talking about, we need a change of coaching staffs. And people say, stop blaming the coaches. Stop blaming the coaches. It's not the coach's fault. It's the players not performing. If the players haven't been performing for us for all of these years, then, and you've had different players and we seem to keep getting the same results, then maybe it is time to look at coaching as well. Now, I'm going to tell you, let me give you an example. When we went to Puerto Rico the first time, we had to take ceramic tile up off the floor. Okay? And I'm leading volunteers and people who don't necessarily know a lot about construction work. And I'm looking at all this ceramic tile that we have to take off the floor. They have linoleum scrapers, which is made to, it's a nice, kind of like a sharp edge, so it gets underneath the linoleum so you can scrape it off. And they have brick chisels and hammers. And I said, it's going to take a long time to do that. Like, no, it'll be okay. We'll get, we got tons of volunteers that'll be able to get in there. And we spent the whole day, first day, taking up about half the floor. We spent the second day taking up the other half. And we ended up having blisters and cuts. And it was just a mess. And I'd said to him, we have a demolition hammer with a wide chisel on there. We could go through and do this in about an hour. And that's what we got the second time we went to Puerto Rico. And lo and behold, went right through there. Worked perfect. So yeah, you can try and do things the hard way. But why do things the hard way when you have something that works so much better? And herein lies the problem with our coaching. Now, I'm gonna put it out there that if you don't look at coaching in this, then you really don't know anything about football. It is your job to figure out what works and put those players in a position to succeed. Don't believe me? Okay, take a look up here. Take a look right here. This is play action offense rankings. Okay? What you see is the teams in order and the amount of yards they get per play action drop back. The Titans lead the NFL. Every time they drop back in using play action, and play action basically is you show a run look, but you're actually doing a pass. We get 10.8 yards. Excuse me, Titans do. The Buccaneers get 10.23 every time they do play action. The 49ers, 9.57. The Vikings, 9.8 yards per play action. And our Cowboys, we're fifth at 8.86 yards every time we do play action. It's effective because teams are so worried about stopping Zeke Elliott. They've got 8 men in the box. And as you're lining up with Zeke Elliott behind you with the quarterback under the center, those linebackers and that safety are moving to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback fakes it to the running back. It might end up being a bootleg where he gets out. Now he's got one-on-one coverage with a cornerback who's now on an island that has to make a decision on going for the quarterback or staying with the receiver. Can't cover both. And that's why play action gets to be so successful. Now, about 4 years or so ago, the Cowboys ran play action about 21% of the time, which was kind of high in the NFL. But the NFL has evolved where teams are doing play action 30+% of the time. And here's the thing that's interesting. Every time but one, when the Cowboys have used play action in their game plan, over 27% of the time this season, they've won. Anytime they've used less than that, have all been losses. Every single one. Let me say that again. Every victory we've had this season, we have done play action 27% or more of the time. Every loss has been under that. So let's go through the numbers on this. This will blow your mind away and make you say, what the, against the Giants, 46.9% of the time we did play action. Bam, victory. Against the Redskins, 39% of the time. Bam, victory. Against the Dolphins, 32% of the time. Bam, victory. We go to the Saints, go down to 20% of the time. Loss. Packers, 17% of the time. Loss. The Jets, we dropped to 14.3% of the time. Loss. Then against the Eagles, the first time, where Dak went off, 29% of the time, we won. Against the Jets, that's the only outlier out there. We did it 30. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. The Giants the following week. 33% of the time, a 1. The Vikings is the only one that's the outlier. 31% of the time, we did play action. We lost that game, but I'm not sure it was because of the play action because Dak Prescott had 397 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 interception. And we were rolling down the field till the team decided to, let's just run Zeke Elliott straight ahead down on the last drive and got away from the play action. Against the Lions, 34% of the time, a victory. Against the Patriots, 26% of the time, a loss. The Bills, 12.5% of the time, a loss. The Bears, 7.8% of the time a loss. And then, here you go, the Rams that we blew out and looked fantastic. 33% of the time we ran play action. If you understand your analytics, if you understand looking at what's going on from week to week, you look at this and say, wow, play action is like using that demolition hammer. It's easy. It works. But instead, you go against the Eagles, mind you, with a quarterback who you had to shoot up before the game, who couldn't practice during the week, and you decide to throw 44% of the time, 44 passes. And mind you, not play action passes, because generally speaking, when you're doing play action, you're going to be doing tight end screens or shorter passes, not necessarily deeper routes. And they're just kind of like a lob throw. No, your coaching staff decides we're not going to do play action. Even though the Eagles figure the Cowboys quarterback is injured, we stop Zeke. So we're going to load the box, which they did. Which means you go ahead and use play action more, not less. And if that does not, in your mind, make a light bulb come on for those that say it's not coaching, there's nothing, I just can't help you then. There's nothing more plain than that. You've got things that work and you decide not to do it. First part of the season, you're running it to perfection, and then as the season goes on, you use it less and less and less. So, it's just, I just don't understand. If somebody can explain it to me, why against the Eagles you run play action 12% of the time when you blew them out using it 29% of the time. When you blew out the Giants twice, the Redskins, the Dolphins, everybody that you ran play action against, you blew them away. But you get against the better teams and you say, oh, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to disguise it. We're not going to keep them guessing, because that's what it does. It puts doubt in their minds what they're doing. If you don't believe me, I want you to think about this. Our defense, when a quarterback is under center showing a run and runs the football, our defense gives up 3.9 yards. When a team is in shotgun, showing a pass look, and they run, they give up 5.2 yards. Because you're thinking they're doing one thing, and they do another. So anyway, I got some work to do, got some time to spend with my daughter, got to go to the post office, and of course, keep you up to speed with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and we'll get this stuff straight, hopefully, for next year. I'll see you soon.